This week, our community said goodbye to one of its favorite personalities as former District Judge Mills Lane passed away. Northern Nevada knew him from his time on the bench and frequent speaking appearances peppered with colorful, pithy quotes. The rest of the country knew him as the referee in dozens of championship boxing matches and the host of his own syndicated TV show. Those who knew him best, his family. Wife Kay and sons Tommy and Terry sat down with Ed Pearce the day after he died to share their memories.
We knew him from his time in the courtroom and frequent speaking appearances. The rest of the country knew him as the referee in dozens of championship boxing matches. As his family tells it, in all those roles, he was the same man, a personality all his own, and one evident at an early age. Born into an aristocratic Southern banking family, he resisted the easy path planned for him, choosing the Marine Corps over following his father to college in Michigan.
Tuition paid for, books paid for, and he said, I'm going down to Pearce Island down the road, and he went to the Marine Corps. And didn't go so well with my grandfather at the time, I understand, but that's my dad. He ran towards something, a challenge. He wanted to make his own life.
And he did what he was meant to do. You know, he just knew in his heart the law, the Marines, the boxing.
That's who he is. I don't think he learned it from anyone. I think it's just, you know, nature, nurture kind of question. I think that's just who he was always.
A boxing champion both in the service and at UNR, he eventually turned professional, hanging it up after posting a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, but staying close to the sport by becoming a referee. He was the visible third man in the ring at a number of title fights, most famously the 1997 Evander Holyfield-Mike Tyson fight, in which he disqualified Tyson for twice biting Holyfield's ear. It's lesser known that he worked local minor fights far from the spotlight, bringing the same authority and sense of fair play.
And he always said he liked the smaller fights just as much as the big fights, because that fight was everything to those two fighters at that moment.
And he brought all of that to his parallel career in law.
Instant fairness. It was
Well, he always said being a judge and being a referee were similar because he was an arbitrator of, you know, the contest.
He gained a reputation as a tough, aggressive prosecutor, serving 2 terms as DA and earning the nickname Maximum Mills. Defense attorneys may have feared the worst when he was elected judge, but if so, it's likely more than one was surprised. He commanded the courtroom, in charge, but fair.
So I kind of think Maximum Mills is kind of silly to me. He was a compassionate man.
But but when there was somebody who needed the maximum, he wasn't afraid to use it.
If they got it, they had to come in.
Yeah.
And I think
For many, it added up to the image of a tough, uncompromising, even pugnacious personality. Those closest to him say that hardly told the story.
He was a softie, he was fair, he was compassionate, he was involved in our lives, and it's a side that only the 3 of us got to see.
His voice was silenced by a stroke 20 years ago. Cared for only by his family, he spent those 2 decades in this home or visiting his sons in New York. The study in his basement traces a remarkable career in sports and law, but aside from his family, his proudest achievement may have been the building visible from his bedroom window. It was there that most of us saw him for the last time, in 2004, at the dedication of the courthouse which bears his name.
The naming of the building might be
was everything.
The proudest moment of his life,
Yeah.
I think. Really? Yeah. He was very proud of it.
Ed Pearce, KOLO 8 News Now.